Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's your girl Ami. Just a disclaimer before I get into the video. Some of you might find this triggering as I'm going to be touching on some very sensitive topics. I watched a recent video on a channel called Matrix Media TV, an interview with former Backchat cast member Yasmin Pinkk, and this was directed and produced by AP Made You Think, massive blog in the UK. The episode highlights the story of Yasmin, and she talks us through her upbringing. She talks us through her childhood traumas, going to prison, her younger years, her experience being a member on the web series Backchat London, the clip that went viral, and she touched on a significant time in her life that had massive impact on her adult years, and just, how it framed her and it affected her relationship with men. So I thought this is really important to talk about, because I feel like this is one of those topics that within the Black community especially, it's something that is taboo, and a lot of people go through it and we just don't talk about it, and we find that it actually affects a lot of us young women, even mature women, young girls, and it's because we don't address certain traumas. We bury these events under the rug, under the carpet, and we are taught to just be strong. It's part of our culture. When you look at how African women are, even Caribbean women, just Black women in general, are framed. If you was to ask me what's one of the first words that you would think when you think of a Black woman, I would say strong. But we have to learn to be open and transparent and vulnerable. And there was actually a comment that was, I can't remember what video it was under now. I think it was when I was a video I did on Miss Our Fabulous, and I said something about masculine energy and a strong Black woman, and somebody says, can you define the definition or the difference between masculine energy and a strong woman? So I'm going to touch a little bit on that as well, but let's just get right into the video. I'll definitely love your thoughts, so make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'm going to leave the link to the video so you guys can go and watch it as well, because it was a really good interview. It was important to see Yasmin sit down and just be open and vulnerable, and I love the fact that I didn't personally feel like there was any barriers, like she didn't put any walls up. She was open, like I felt her openness, not because she shed a few tears, but genuinely because she answered the questions. She didn't shy away from it, even if she took time to process it, because sometimes when you've gone through trauma in your life and you sit down and you actually speak on it and dissect it, it will take you back, and you will need a minute to just get yourself together, because if it's something that you haven't really spoken about before, you kind of relive those moments and it's new to you. You experience emotions that it kind of takes you back. And if you have ever gone through abuse or sexual assault, rape, anything like that, and you've had to pick yourself up and deal with it alone, you've had to learn to be strong, and you've had to learn to be your number one protector. For that reason, it's hard to let people in, because for years and years and years, the way that your mind would have processed things is, I've had to protect myself, and therefore I will continue to protect myself. Like, there's no way that I could give myself over to anybody. They wouldn't be able to protect me the way I need to protect myself. One of the things that she said, which I think was quite difficult for her, was this was actually the first time, I believe, her speaking about this, in terms of she hadn't had even been open to her mum. Like, so she apologized and she said, if my mum sees this, I just want to apologize, but I have to speak my truth.
A lot of people don't know this, and I've not even consulted my mum about this. So, if she comes across this, I want to apologise to her, but I have to speak my truth so people understand.
There is so much power in speaking your truth. Like, the truth will actually set you free, and the truth that will actually set you free. I think even from doing that interview, she probably would have felt a weight lifted off of her shoulders to actually bring this to light, because there's something about living in the darkness for so long. With that comes with a lot of shame and a lot of blame, a lot of self-blame, a lot of self-hate, a lot of self-destruction. When when you open up and when you expose every darkness, or when you expose that enemy from within, you feel free. Like, you definitely feel a lot more free. So just to get into the interview, she shared her experience with her stepdad and her relationship with her biological father. Her mum and her dad had split up, and she shared about how that affected her. And it's something that I don't know if a lot of people talk about. We're part of a generation where we've had to grow up beyond our years, meaning we've had to mature quicker than we really have needed to. We've not really enjoyed our childhood as, you know, we could have. A lot of people have had to be the mum or be the parent to their sibling because their mum or dad have had to be out. The black community is known to have the highest single mum rate, and all of these things do impact us massively. She spoke about her mum remarrying and her stepdad abusing her sexually.
My mum remarried, and like, without going into too much detail, he basically sexually abused me in it.
And that's what in turn caused her to move out of her parents' house from a really young age, and she's had to live with that for all of these years. As a result of that abuse, it made her very promiscuous. It framed her relationship with men. Watching that reminded me of a video that Renee Miss Fabulous did when she briefly addressed the allegations, and she said, you know, she's been a victim of abuse. And it just kind of made me think, wow, like, I wonder how many females, how many women have actually been a victim of abuse who have not spoken out. And it's abuse within family members, you know, uncles, stepdads, stepbrothers, cousins. In the black community, how many young girls have been abused by family members? Why is it such a taboo topic within the black community? Why is it that black girls feel like they can't speak to their mum about them getting abused? I don't know if you guys can remember the movie Precious. I think it was a movie Precious. Oh my god, that was one of the saddest movies that I watched. I might actually watch that film again. That again was just a prime example of a young girl in a house getting abused and just having to deal with that alone, and just the trauma of that and how her mum reacted. It was crazy. But I don't want the video to be too long. I definitely hope that this opens the floor for conversation. I know a few friends who have massive childhood traumas that is definitely framing them today, and that is definitely having an impact in their lives, who are now being open to the idea of counselling and open to the idea of talking and being transparent. And you having to do that in your adult stage of life when you're realizing that I can't sustain a relationship because I'm trying to be strong, but I'm coming across as masculine and I'm serving masculine energy when I think that I'm trying to be a strong black woman. Instead of us bashing black women for trying to hold themselves together, are we understanding that there is a massive issue within the community when it comes to transparency, when it comes to abuse within the family members, when it comes to the fact that young women have had to learn to protect themselves, to be their own protector, and how the family structure, how there is a massive breakdown within the family structure because the man can no longer be the man. Black women oftentimes dethrone men and decapitate them. I would definitely love to have this type of discussion on a live. Maybe it's something that I'm going to arrange maybe one day. If it's something that you guys would be interested in, feel free to drop it in the comment section. If you are new to my channel, feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, notification bell, and I'll speak to you guys in my next video.